In this video we'll have a look on how to model headphones into Blender. So let's start with a hoop around the head. So for that I will just select everything, then remove everything, and I will add this time a circle. So this circle, I will add a circle, just be careful of the number of vertices. Here it will be 24 to have something not too high poly, not too low poly. I will go with my view on orthographic view. It's always something that I prefer to model, and then I will go in front view, numpad 1. I go in edit view tab and I start my modeling. First I will do extrude Z into the Z axis and then scale this part like so. Okay, maybe a little GZ like this, and then extrude again Z and then scale it again, something like this. Okay, to have this kind of shape that for start modeling it's good. Okay, so now we will take this, extrude it one time with S just after the extrude. Okay, then EZ to have this kind of shape, then ES again to have this shape, come back with EZ, maybe a little less, something like this, ES, okay, and maybe we will use another technique to add other details there. I will do F here, and maybe I will just do a Control R one time, Control R one time, do this selection with Alt Shift select with right click, and do an extrude like that. So now I have this kind of shape that will be a part of the right part, or one of the part of our arch. So now I select this part and go in front view, and we will add a mirror modifier. So mirror modifier is the first time we use it, and this is something that makes you work. Everything that you will do in the right side will work in the left side exactly the same. So if I move this, do a rotation to place it, maybe let's tell something like this. Okay, just move it a little more. Good, and let's add a modifier, mirror modifier, so will make my geometry exactly the same in that place. So very good to work with it. Here we will just extrude a little time, just we will do F or a Control F grid fill, maybe just to have something with a nice topology. Then we will do a E and a S and an extrude like this. Like this we have this kind of shape, and then ES again to have this kind of topology. Okay, here it's good. Now we will have a look on this part here, from here to there. So what we will do is select a part like this, and with this selection we will extrude it and make the arch like that to have the hoop. So what I will do is right click, control right click again, and control right click again. It's this selection that I would like to have to make my extrusion. So first I will make it, no, I will keep it like that, it's good, but I will extrude it one time. So I extrude that, and you see that it goes directly perpendicularly. Me, I don't want it totally perpendicularly, I just make a little rotation. Then I will show you a trick to manage something with the normals. You see that here it follows the normals of the selection, and then you just go to the normals, then search for the scale controller, and then you start to scale and you scale it to 0 like this. You make something totally flat, then you remove these faces that they will not be useful at all after. So we have our first extrusion, and now with this we will just start to place our arch, and with that selected, now you just have to be aware of the big shape you want to do and to follow that, and you just do several control clicks, and it works well to make your arch begin. Okay, after we can touch it, we can retouch it and move it again. We have an option into more mirror modify. It's here. When I move here and I go further, so you see it continues this way, and it's really not what we want. We have a clipping option here that I cannot go more, and it will match perfectly the other side. So this is very good feature too that we use for this model. Here we will start to look into the scale of our extrusion. Here it's too big for me, and the shape of it is not really good, so we will make that. So first we will do a scale here, and that we will do exactly the same. So Shift R with all the loops here. So I just do Shift R to have exactly the same size. Shift R again, okay, and then here just for these loops, not that one, maybe I will do a SY to have something like this, and maybe this one too finally, but a little less, let's say something like that. Okay, not that bad. Now I would like to make it more round shape, because it's not really good. So I go back to my front view, and with G and just G, R, G like this, I will make this good shape that we really need. Maybe even I can go something like this, for something like this. And if you need, you can still just with Ctrl R just add one, and to make a more precise shape. For me, I'm not happy with the shape yet. Okay, that one, little rotation on it. Okay, this is far better from what we had before. Maybe that one a little less here, something like so. It's not that bad. Okay, good. Now we can continue and go further. We will continue our modelization by add our speakers now. And our speakers, it's simple, but we will make another object that we will link to this object after. So this, let's let it like this, and let's go for continue our modelization into our second layer here, and I will add another circle 24 vertices, the same shape that we had before, the same number of vertices, but for this time I will just here go to global shape here, global controllers, and to come back to the normal one, and I will just do an SX to have a kind of oval shape here that will match perfectly our speakers. And now I will just go in front view, do extrude Z, okay, extrude S, extrude Z, come there. So the first goal is to make something really simple, okay, then extrude again on the z-axis, extrude S, extrude Z again, S, and ES again to have this shape, and then I will can EZ again, then ES again, and after we can just close our geometry. So here I will do ES and Control F grid fill like this. It doesn't match good, so I just have to move the offset, okay, and I will do the same here, Control F grid fill, and just move the offset value to have something good. Okay, now we have the global shape of a speaker, and what we would like to do now is just to recalculate the normals, because they are not well calculated here. So what we'll have to do is just select everything and do a Control N. Now I can come back to my first layer and then in edit mode, so I did activate the two. With Shift you can activate more than one layer at once, and now I can just do a scale, come back here in front view, maybe a SZ, a rotation, and here comes here to place my object where into my first object. Okay, something like this is not that bad, but we see that maybe this is not big enough, the arch is not big enough, and this has to be there maybe, so we will correct that and come back later. Okay, so for that I will just select this part with B here in wireframe mode, and in front view I will just with this enable I will just move this to make kind of bigger arch, and maybe rotate it a little and replace it. Okay, like this it sounds better to me. I come back to object mode, select that one, and in edit mode I can now place it well into the model, maybe scale it a little. So don't hesitate to work with some references, it's always good. I just have a look on this space and that space, it sounds not that bad, and we will have a look on how it looks when we add the modifier on it, mirror, to see how it's good, how it looks. So it doesn't look bad. Okay, we can start to go with this. So we have global shapes of our headphone, but we want to add some details and to make it more realistic. So first we will work on the arch here, and for that I will just add a subdivision surface modifier in level 2, okay, to have kind of more organic shape. But you can see that it works very well for this part. Okay, it's perfect, but here I would like to have some sharpness, and I cannot have this now. So what I do to have some sharpness into edges that I want, I just do my selection of the edges here. I will make that turn 2 here too. So in this case I just make Alt Shift right select to have everything. Okay, and then I will add something like this. And now to add some sharpness, so I will just use the bevel, but I will make a bevel very little, like a Control B, and just move just a little the mouse, and up you suddenly see the good effect that we want. And we can see our sharpness comes here, and it looks very far better now for this piece. Now I will just add a smooth here shading, like this we can see better the effect. And now we will just continue this kind of process just where we want to add some sharpness. So for example, I will add sharpness here, just a little Control B, up, you see directly the effect. And just here, there and there, Control B, up, and suddenly you see everything goes well. And you can do it for inside too. Control B works well for that. Now we have something really nice compared to what we had before. Here I would like to add something like a separation to make think that this is a piece and this is another. So for that we will just add here Control R to make a kind of second loop that we will use here to make a selection with Alt right click too, and I will just use an extrude this, and then a Alt S without the proportional editing here, so Alt S, and it will go inside. But in the same way it does something very smooth here because of the subdivision surface. So what we will have to do is to select the good loops into our edge mode selection, this one, that one and that one, okay? And then just with a little Control B you have what you want, okay? And now it looks separated, so this is what we want in this case, in that case. Maybe I will just for this make kind of I will select all of that and then move it maybe with a little rotation, and here a little rotation again, and here maybe something like this. It's not that bad. Okay, now it looks better now, and I just go inside this object now, and I will repeat the same process that we did start, and for that I will just add a subdivision surface modifier, and already you see that we have the overall shape of it. It's not that bad, but what we would like is to add some details and sharpness. So for that we will use here some of the loops, for example that one and that one. Whoop. We should use edges. It's better to select loops. Control B, here it's the same process, and let's see what happens. So it's not that bad. I will keep it like this. Maybe here what I can do is to make big Control B, like so, to have really this good shape that we want. And then maybe I can add something like here to make a little separation, like here. If I want, for example, let's say this part here, I will just select this here, do an extrude, an Alt S, okay, good, and then sharpen it when wherever I want. So we have different ways to sharpen edges in Blender, but Bevel adds some geometry, so it's not really good to make some really low poly models, but if you want to add real fine details, it's very good. So Control B again. Okay, good. Now we have a nice looking separation here. We will do the same here with maybe just Control R to add one loop. Just one is enough, and we will go with that. So now I would like to add more roundness to this shape to make it look really soft, like this. It's not that bad, okay? And same for here. To do this, I do Control R, add a loop, and then Alt S. Okay, not that bad too. And here same way, I will add a loop and Control R again, Control Alt or S again, sorry, and now we have a nice round shape here to define. We can do a smooth too to have something good to see, and maybe we can still we can add other details, like for example, let's have a look on this. So what we will do is that we will select into faces selection mode. Maybe we will just select this right here, maybe just add a loop like this. Okay, like this it will help for my purpose, you will see why. So I will select 2 on the top. I will watch this into edit mode, into this view, so it's better. And now we let 2, we select maybe something like this. Something like this can be good. Yeah. So we let 2, we select 2. We let 2, we select 2. And we do our selection like that for our this shape. Okay. We see it works well to make a selection with a circle, because you just have to point it. And now we have an interesting selection that we can use for extrude. And we extrude that. We will have a shape, and we will do a Alt S again here. So I come back here, sorry for that. And okay, it doesn't look bad, but now we have to think about this round shape that doesn't look very good. So I come back to my original here process, and I just do a little Alt S, very little to the interior, and I just do an extrude again, and another Alt S, and another extrude again, and another Alt S, very little. And like this we have a nice shape comes around here the speakers. So now we will make a last part, and we would like to add the wire here to protect here inside the shape of the headphone. So to add a wire, we just go into a grid with Shift A, okay, and we will add a grid. And this grid, let's say we will turn it 30 and 30, and like this it will be enough geometry to work with. And now we will see that we have this, and we did see when we did discover extrude individual, that it's possible to extrude individual faces, and for that we will use individual origins. So what we will do is extrude individual and let it with a right click where just they were. And now we do S to make a shape like this, okay, and we will just remove these faces. So I will push X and remove faces. Now I have kind of grid, not that bad, maybe a little less thick, so I will just do something like that, okay, and I remove faces again. Now it's better, it's far better. And I would like to add some thickness on it, not only something totally thin that has no geometry. So I select everything and I come close to see what I do, and I extrude it to add some thickness, little thickness, let's say, and we have kind of grid. You could even use, for example, subdivision surface modifier to make a round shape to your grid if you want, but this is not the case for us. We just want something simple like that. And what we will do now is place this grid inside this and remove what will be too much. So for that we will just hide inside, and we will just scale this, okay. The best is to do everything in edit mode with all selected, what I did, okay. Sorry, I will just make a rotation like this, it match well. I just do a scale like this it's good, and I just place it like so. Like so, I think it will be okay. The goal is to have everything match inside, so now it's okay. But you see that I have little corners here that still are outside, and this I would like to make it disappear. So what I do now is just deselect everything with A, and just with selection here I will just with C. I cannot select inside, so you can see, yeah, no, it's select inside actually. And with B too, oh, okay, it select even with an object in front. So what we can do is just to select here 2 points in the corner, okay, and I will do the same here, and I will do the same here, and I will do the same here. Then I will just Ctrl plus several times until my selection is like that, and then I will remove faces, and we just have our grid that is well placed. Now we just have to add a modifier mirror, and it will match perfectly the other side. Maybe just this grid has to be a little more inside to have, yeah, this kind of shape is better. And now we have our headphones that are ready. So you can rename here, so grid and grid is okay. We can name this arch. We can rename this speakers, okay, and grid is grid, it's understandable. And if you want to put just a little empty, like a sphere, into the center, and you select everything and Ctrl P to this empty, like this, you select everything with one selection. So very good for that. And you call this empty headphones, okay, and we have what we wanted for our modeling. So this is it for the modeling. There's little exercises, basic exercises. Now we will have a look on in the next videos. We will have maybe 3 or 4 videos about that. We will model a little robot with image references. So this is the next step of this training session.